Hello, my name is Rachel, and my partner Jennifer and I will be discussing the issues, importance, and relevance of educating English language learners, otherwise known as ELLs. Before we begin, we would like to introduce you to two abbreviations that we will be using throughout the course of this presentation. ELL is the abbreviation for English Language Learner, and ESL is the abbreviation for English as a Second Language. English language learners are students who are unable to communicate fluently or learn effectively in English, who often come from non-English speaking homes and backgrounds, and who typically require specialized or modified instruction in both the English language and in their academic courses. English as a second language is a traditional term for the use or study of the English language by non-native speakers in an English-speaking environment. That environment may be a country in which English is the native language or one in which English has an established role. English as a second language also refers to specialized approaches to English language teaching designed for those whose primary language is not English. So what is the issue? Why is there controversy and difficulty in regards to ELLs and ESLs? Well, ELLs make up 10% of all public school students, which is a tremendous amount. That 10% of students who are learning English as their second language don't enjoy school, and oftentimes they dread it. Not only because school's hard and they don't understand, but even in the most inclusive environments filled with people, they feel alone, almost trapped in their own heads. There are also very few teachers in the public school system who are trained ESL or ELL instructors. Can you guess what percentage of teachers are trained ESL instructors? Only 1%. That can't be enough staffing to teach the tremendous number of ELL students coming in each year. Educators aren't the only people who are frustrated. ELL students are frustrated as well. But why? In general education classrooms, information is presented far too quickly. They are unable to grasp onto much information and comprehend it at the same level that the English-speaking students do. Students also struggle because the primary teaching methods in general education classrooms are lecture and PowerPoint. If a student is unable to catch on to all of the words in a teacher's lecture, and they are unable to read the PowerPoints proficiently, then how are they expected to learn? The biggest frustration with ESL students is that they are unable to express themselves in a way that their classmates and teachers can understand. They may have knowledge of a concept they are learning, or they might know the answer, but they don't have the language skills to express themselves. There are four main categories of English language learners. The first category consists of students who have recently moved to the United States who have high literacy in their native language, but little to no proficiency in English. Students in this category know how language works, and they aim to connect new vocabulary and language structures to what they already know from their native language. These students would benefit from specialized English language instruction as well as some support in other subjects. The second category consists of students who have recently moved to the United States who have low literacy in their primary language and little to no proficiency in English. Students in this category don't have much academic knowledge or language skills that other students might possess. These students would benefit from specialized English language instruction as well as support in all other subjects to learn how to understand that content. Students in the third category have lived in the United States for a few years, generally between 2 and 5, and are working towards developing English language skills that will near native-like proficiency. Students in this category may not be on track with their English language skills, however, they are progressing, and they simply need focused language instruction that will help them reach the desired proficiency level for their age or grade. Finally, students who fall into the fourth category are long-term U.S. residents who have little literacy in their native language, adequate oral communication skills, and poor academic literacy in both English and their native language. Students who fall into this fourth category make up the largest group of ELLs in U.S. schools. Despite having lived in the United States for an extended period of time, they have been unable to reach the proficiency level that is expected of students of any given age or grade. They are generally capable of communicating informally, but not in an academic setting. They would benefit most from being taught academic language as well as language and learning support in all of their other classes. Do you notice anything similar between the four categories? All of these students would benefit from focused English language instruction and support throughout the rest of their classes. A big part of working with ELL and ESL students is knowing what proficiency level they are at. By having this knowledge, educators know what to expect from their students and are better capable of supporting them and helping them learn English successfully.
Some studies show that there is often a different goal that the programs or researchers are looking out for. For example, Dr. Claude Goldenberg analyzed two research panels, the National Literacy Panel and the Center for Research and Education Diversity and Excellence, and found that both studied the same population, but the CREDE looked for language and literacy development and achievement, while the NLP addressed only literacy development. These studies reflect that many programs have different teaching goals for their students and that there is not a universal way in which to address the issue of ESL and ELL students.
There are many different ways to educate ELLs effectively. For example, there are ways to utilize bilingual education models in order to aid students in learning English. The three models are the transitional approach, maintenance or developmental approach, and immersion approach. The transitional approach uses the student's native language as a bridge into English-only language instruction. The maintenance and developmental approach is best described as the dual language approach, where students are taught in English as well as a second language and they learn all of their subjects in both languages. The immersion approach is rather self-explanatory as students are immersed into an English-only classroom with pull-out classes solely for the ELL and ESL students.